Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. I'm davaughnmona, professional makeup artist and model. I'm so happy to have you here. Today we are diving into this beautiful look. Isn't it just so good? It's a step up from your regular clean girl makeup and really entering into a little bit more of a luxe look. So I'm gonna break it down for you in the video. You know I don't like to talk too much here, so meet me inside. Today, we're gonna go over one of my favorite everyday types of looks. It's really heavily skin focused, taking time to prep the skin. And if you have questions specifically on skin prep, how to layer your skin prep, make sure you check out last week's updated skincare routine. That'll be super beneficial before you're getting into this. But for today, we're just gonna get into our hyper focused, beautiful skin like foundation, base, and makeup look. Honestly, it doesn't take much, so make sure you take out your notepad or even follow along, put this on in the background, just so you know how simple it has to be. So starting with this Merit Glow Stick, I'm gonna take this all over my face. This is what it looks like, mine is well loved. I love a hyper-focused glowy look. Something about it in the spring really just does something for me. So I put it everywhere on the skin and then I just go in with that skin to skin contact, just making sure everything is melted really nicely into the skin. Then you can see we just have this beautiful glow on the skin and it looks stunning and it looks so beautiful under makeup and reads very well on camera, might I add. If you're gonna be on camera, you'll definitely wanna try this out. Now, we're gonna go in first with the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. This stuff is absolutely incredible. So this is a balm-like formula. It goes on creamy and then sets as a powder, has Upsolite in it, so it's really gonna control that sweat and oils all day. I go into the product with my brush, so I take it direct into the product. And then with the product on my brush, I go in and do a swipe on my face. As you can see, this is literally my perfect color match. I wear shade number 7. Now, if you wanted to try this product and you didn't want any color, the color gives it that coverage. You can just do the universal shade or the universal radiant shade, which is new and it has like the most stunning glow. So kind of like what we did before applying our blurring balm, adding that glow, the new universal radiant just has it in there. So yes, this product prime, blurs, covers, and sets. It's really a do everything kind of product. You absolutely need it. You need it. I mean, it's a non-negotiable. When I wear this product, the compliments I get on my skin are just next level. You need her, especially if you're just like one of those girls that don't want to do much to your makeup. You're just like, I want something quick and easy. This is that quick and easy step. So now that we've added on our blurring balm powder, we have that first initial layer of our makeup. This is also a lightweight product, so it's never gonna be too much or too cakey. It actually comes with a spatula, and that's the amount that you need for your entire face. So you just scoop it out and you can apply it directly onto skin. Next, I like to go in with the Yummy Skin Tint. This is also a light to medium coverage product, but you can get more full coverage. This is shade number 11. For this, I just like to put a little bit on my cheeks and some squiggles and like the slightest bit on my forehead. Then I'm going in with the same brush. Also, this is the Yummy Face 1.0 brush by Danessa Myricks Beauty, and it is absolutely stunning. So I just start stippling that product in, building up coverage, but working in light layers. The key to having a great makeup application is truly working in nice thin layers. It's gonna allow your makeup to just look like beautiful skin, which I feel like is where we're at. Like everyone kind of wants to give clean girl, but a little bit more. So this is doing that, just laying down that great base first. When you're doing your makeup, I encourage you to just take a moment, look in the mirror and say, am I liking this? Do I want a little bit more coverage? Do I want a little bit of less of coverage to take some away, to add? So I'm pretty content with this because I know we're gonna go in and add blush, bronzer, highlight, all of the things. So let's just continue on doing so. So for today's contour, I'm gonna go in using one of my favorites, Patrick Ta. This is in the shade She's Chiseled. Brush, I'm gonna be using this Morphe E48 brush. She's fluffy, perfect for just getting right into that space. You always want your brushes to do a lot of the work for you. So make sure you have some great tools. That makes applying makeup so much easier. Now, this product has a cream and a powder. I'm gonna be going in with the cream first just to sculpt out the face, and then later we'll go in and set with the powder. Taking my brush direct into the product and just making sure that the bristles are evenly coated. Again, allowing the brush to do the work for you. Hardly ever take product on a brush directly to my face. I generally go into a surface just to make sure that everything is even. So using the back of my hand just to make sure the product is evenly distributed through those bristles. Now going to the face, and I'm just focusing that contour right in this area. Of course, same thing both sides. Now on this side, I'm just doing a little bit of a swiping motion, then I'll go ahead and buff it in. Now buffing this side in. I like a snatched face, so it's never too much or too little contour for me. The same and just warming up that forehead. So I'm just taking the product on the brush and then going all around the side of my face and my forehead. So ideally, you'll be placing contour in the places that you kind of want to hide, sculpt, shadow, etc. Whatever word you prefer to use. That's what I'm doing. I have a 5 head, so nothing wrong with it. I've accepted it, but just building that look out with the contour. Make sure you blend your product in, but you don't want to blend it away. Now with the excess product on the brush, I'm going to take that along my jawline just to sculpt that out, just a little. I don't want that to be too heavy. I don't want it to look too overdone. I want something simple, sexy, sleek, and easy. Let's review, shall we? We started with our Merit Stick just to add a little bit of glow. Then we went in with our first base product, the Danessa Meyers Exploring Balm Powder. My shade is number 7. This is just adding that initial coverage. I also love this because it gives the skin the most beautiful blur. Who's not here for perfect skin? Exactly. Then we went in with our Yummy Skin Tint. I'm in shade number 11. This is adding a little bit more coverage, and it's also bringing radiance to the top of the skin. This has a radiant finish. It's a serum-based product, so it's never gonna give you cakey looking skin. It'll give you coverage and also give you the most stunning glow. Just finished building out our sculpt to our face with a Patrick Ta. This is in the shade She's Chiseled. Now it's time for my favorite step, blush. You guessed it. We're gonna be going in using Patrick Ta. I love these blushes. Also that cream product at the top, powder at the bottom. So we're gonna start with the cream. Something Patrick does is actually start with the powder and then set with the cream, but I'm such a cream to powder girl, so make sure you use this however you prefer. I'm taking my brush and pushing it into the product. This is the IT Cosmetics brush and I absolutely love it. Yes, the shade is super bright pink. The name of it is She's Vibrant, because I'm vibrant and I love flush. So yeah, again, using the back of my hand just to make sure we don't have too much product on. And then this just makes the distribution to the products on the face that much prettier. Now pressing that in, I'm taking my blush kind of right above that bronzer, and I love to take mine into my brow. I just love that gradient that it gives the skin. And again, I'm doing the same thing on both sides. So I apply my blush and my contour in upward motion just because I want my face to have that lifted look. You don't have to, but I think generally most people love that look, and it just gives you super youthful looking skin. Now, something to note when doing blush, you can stop whenever you want. I'm a blush girl, so it's not too much for me. I know how to control my blush, and I actually like to layer my blush. So as you can see, we have it on our cheeks into the brow. This just gives that beautiful gradient that I love. And then I put a little bit of the excess on my nose and then also right at the top of my brows. This just allows the product to be in a couple different places on the face. You really can't tell where it starts and ends. And that's what I love about makeup. I love everything to look nice and cohesive. I'm really happy with how the skin is looking so far. I'm ready for my brightening with my concealer. So today we're gonna go in and use the LYS concealers. These are the Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealers. I like to use 2 concealers, one to kind of do some correcting, and that's more similar to my initial skin tone. And then the second one to do brightening, just so we have that bold, bright under eye that I love. So the first shade is TG7. Now the finish of this concealer is a little bit more radiant and skin-like. So if that's your vibe, you'll really enjoy it. If it's not, it may not be your favorite, but it's still super beautiful. So you can see I put a little bit of concealer right on the inner corners, and then I'm taking it to the outer corners. You don't need a whole lot of concealer. Like that's the problem a lot of people have when it comes to their under eyes not setting well or just having a lot of creasing. You're often just using way too much product. You do not need to use that much concealer. Take your time, work in thin layers. It makes the hugest difference. Since this concealer is a little creamier, I do want to let it set for like 30 seconds to a minute. If you have a fan, it's really nice to use that. I can just use my manual hand fan. Just wait about 30 seconds before you get to blending. That just makes a difference in how your concealer lays on the skin. That's it. You don't want to be moving around the concealer. You want to move the concealer into the exact spot that you want it to go. And with that same It brush on the other side, there's a brush for concealer, which I love. And I'm just gonna go in and start blending. I start with the inner corner and then meet towards the outer corner. And you see how we're not moving the product around. We're just blending it right into the skin. Just bringing that upward for that lifted, snatched look. Same thing, other side. Blend that concealer out. When I get quiet, I just get focused. That nice lifted look. And don't worry about the lines that aren't fully blended in yet. We're gonna go back in on the other side and just make sure everything's distributed evenly, making sure we get that concealer blended out that we placed on our forehead and bridge of our nose. Now taking the side that we used to blend out the blush and just making sure there's no lines of demarcation. There's no lines of where things start and end. It's just nice and seamless. Like so. So first we used TG7, now we're going in with TG5. This is our shade to brighten. Taking this just in the inner corner because this is just our shade to brighten right under the eye. Again, give that a couple seconds to marinate. Now, time to blend. I like doing bronzer, then blush, then concealer, so that way when you blend out your concealer, you're blending it into your blush and bronzer. And again, you can't tell where it starts and stops, and it just allows your makeup to be so nice and seamless. And I love that. You can do it however you'd like. Makeup is art, but this application process just makes everything look so beautiful and flawless to me. And again, going back in with the other side of the brush, just to make sure that everything, again, is nice and seamless. You'll hear me say seamless a lot, cohesive, and it's just because one, I want you to remember, and two is that's what makeup's all about. It's about going back in, blending, adding, subtracting if need be, but most of all working in those thin layers so you don't have to do a lot of the subtracting. With the residue of that concealer, I'm just going in and putting that on my lid and using that kind of as like our little primer. We're not going to do a heavy eye look today, but it'll just help even out that discoloration on the lid. So this is the skin. What do we think so far? It's of course very dewy, very glowy, how I like it, but we're gonna go in and set. I also love using powders, so having a nice hydrating base before powders is super important, makes all the difference in how your makeup looks and lasts. So I like to go in with a loose powder to set first. This is the RCMA translucent powder. We're gonna go in under our eye and start setting that space. Using a My Kit coat brush to pick up my powder, and see how there's just extra powder falling off. You want to dust off all that excess. Makeup artists don't do that dusting for no reason. We don't want there to be extra product on the brush. I want to make sure we're using the amount of product that we need for under that eye, especially under the eye because it's the thinnest layer of skin on the entire body. Fact check. And yeah, we just want it to be a nice, evenly distributed amount of product. So I like to go back in and just make sure that under eye is perfectly flawless. You don't want to set any lines and creases because anything that you set with powder, it's going to stay there. So go in, and I do like to do a side at a time and apply that powder. This is also where you get more of that blur and that flawless finish. So as you can see, this is the side that we've just done. This is the side that's still dewy and radiant. And I'm sure you can see the difference. This side looks so much more flawless than this one. They're both beautiful. This one just has that nice blurred effect. You know the drill by now. Same thing, both sides. Blend it out. Set it. Now I'm just going in around the mouth and setting that area. This step, you have a little more wiggle room to not be as clean and precise because we're not under that eye. But when you're working under that eye, make sure that you're clean and precise, babe. Now going in with powder and setting that forehead. You can even set your brows if you want to. And I'm going in and putting this powder into the crease as well and the bridge of the nose. Now it's time to set our bronzer. Anything that's applied with a cream needs to be set with the powder, especially when we're talking longevity. So for our bronzer, we're gonna go in with the Patrick Ta that we use, but this time we're using the powder. And I'm gonna mix it with some MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I just love the finish of this product. Dust off the excess and then work that product right on top of where we initially placed the bronzer. In the mix of both the products, that's what I love to do. I love to concoct the perfect complexion by mixing a couple products. It just makes all the difference. Patrick Ta shade is super beautiful and deep and rich. And then the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, this is in shade Dark Deepest. It's a little lighter and just gives the perfect mineral-like finish to the skin, and it just makes it look like skin, but it also lasts. It's lightweight, it's easy, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I can speak about it all day. I'm also a former MAC girl, so it's only right. And then you can build accordingly. Yes ma'am. Same thing, going back in with She's Vibrant, taking some of that pink, oh, so beautiful, and just packing that on. Y'all, I have not used this blush in so long, and I don't know why I have not. Yeah. I'm a blush girl, so get into it. But do you guys see how simple this can be? Like, it doesn't have to be complicated if you just follow the steps and practice, honestly. A part that people don't want to do, but you have to practice, and it makes all the difference in how your makeup comes out. She's Vibrant. She's so cute. I told you I like to mix blushes, so I'm actually gonna pick up Juvia's Place Volume 4. This blush is so freaking beautiful. A moment of silence for this baby pink. Like, I'll never get over this shade. So going in with that same brush, picking up some of that baby pink and placing it on top of She's Vibrant. And I'm bringing it right under the eye just because I want us to have that super pretty blushing under eye today. So I do that in this step. It's just bringing that powder blush right under the eye. And again, just bringing a little into the brow bone area. Dusting some on the nose, again, right over that contour like how we did before, but we're not applying more product. We're just using the excess. A little on that chin. You don't eat exactly, it eats. Follow step by step so we can look like this together. Also, if you're not a pink girl, remember, you can use whatever blush you want. A purple, a red blush is so in, an orange, a coral. There's so many options. You can literally just trade out your colors and follow the steps and get the same application process. Now we're gonna set under that eye one more time. We're gonna use a pink pressed powder this time. This is a brightening shade. This is honestly just from Amazon, and I'm using the same powder brush that we used to set under the eye previously, dusting off the excess and going in and pressing that into the under eye. Now this time we're pressing that pink pressed powder into the blush, which is going to give us the most stunning, I repeat, stunning gradient. Same thing, both sides, sisters. Now this powder, I really just keep in the center of the face because I don't want the whole rest of my face to be pink. We just want it to be right under that eye in the cheek area and maybe right in the center. Yeah, like that. Now one more powder, and I'm sure now you see why we need all that hydration. This is the Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder. The finishing powder really seals everything in. As you can see, I freaking love this product. I used shade number 2 because I love a brightening shade, and this just gives it that professional look. A setting powder is one thing, but using a setting followed by a finishing, it's what takes your makeup from good to great. All your favorite pro makeup artists or girls that you see that just have the most flawless makeup are doing both steps. And I put some right into that crease, and then I take some to the forehead. Got to. Set this look with some setting spray. I love the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is the jumbo. I keep one, okay? After you've applied all those powders, you need to take time to set your face. Yeah. Now we're gonna go in with the Super Fix and Hold. This is a super fixing spray, just in making sure that everything stays in place. You'll see me spray off to the side, then spray the face. That's so that we can make sure that we're gonna get a nice even spritz on the face. This is the combo, Morphe followed by Makeup Revolution. Super affordable setting spray options. This would kind of be like using Charlotte then One Size, but almost half the price. You can thank me now, or you can thank me later for saving you a little bit of a coin. This is what I like to do for an everyday face. It's something that can really be executed in like 7 minutes, but for the case of breaking it down, of course, it's taken more time. I then like to just go in what I like to call the bells and whistles. And for me, that's a little bit of a lip, that's a little bit of a something on the eye, and adding those finishing touches. So we're gonna do that right now. We're gonna use this Maybelline brown pencil and apply this to our eyes. So I'm gonna take this brown in my waterline. I love how applying a brown liner, or any liner honestly, in the waterline just opens up the eye. Brown is just the perfect color that's not too harsh like a black, but it still gives definition, depth, and honestly gives you that sexy look that most people want when it comes to doing their makeup. So this is with the brown in the waterline only. Now I'm gonna go in and put it right under the waterline. So beautiful. Now taking that same liner, gonna take it to the outer corner of the top lash line. And I only take it about halfway. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Now I'm gonna go back in the inner corner just to find that area, and I'm gonna pull it inward. Like so. A little bit of a cat eye this way, just a little bit, and we'll pull that out with a nail. Just gonna pull that out and create that wing. Yes. By now, y'all know I like everything to be cohesive. So I'm gonna take that same brown liner and line my lip. I like an overline, so I'm gonna overline the top, starting with a Cupid's bow. Now, a liner is a liner, so do this at your own risk. I will use an eyeliner on my lips. I'll rarely use a lip liner on my eyes. You can, but I don't recommend, because not all of them are eye safe, but using your eyeliner on your lips, you'll be fine, because it's not like it's gonna irritate anything in the same way. A moment for how this look has elevated by just adding one product to the mix. Now for my lip, I've been obsessed with mixing my blush and concealer. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of my concealer. This is the lighter shade TG5. Apply that to the lip and blend. Now taking the cream side of our blush, tapping that on, going back in with that liner. I like my lips to be nice and glossy, so going in with the Sephora Collection Heat Gloss. Gonna go in and smoke out that liner, not adding color, just with a nice clean brush. To stick with the brown theme, I'm gonna go in with a brown mascara. This is Tower 28. Bottom lashes, it makes a difference in how the final look appears. I love my fluffy brows, so just going in with the wee bits that are left from my Brow Gel Obsession, the Rare Beauty. I'll just lay them flat with the backside. One more coat of the Morphe setting spray. Voila, this is the look. This is the most stunning, beautiful, everyday base look, and you can do whatever you desire with the eyes. Again, I like something that's normally pretty quick and easy, so going in with that brown liner for our eye look and lips makes it super easy and simple for me, but you can do whatever you desire. I hope you love this look. Let me know what you think in the comments and let me know what you want to see more of. I'm here for you to support you through your beauty evolution, your beauty journey, your beauty wardrobe, and I'm just here to support you along the way. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.